I predict a Duke's victory.
Welcome to the Crush Fantasy Football Podcast, episode 22. My co-host is still off in Thailand, being an LBH, but luckily we have a deep bench over here at Crush Fantasy Football. Boys, Don Tanner, welcome to the pod.
Welcome in, dude. Thanks for having us. So pumped to be here.
Yeah, that's the energy we need. Privilege, even better. You guys can Venmo me. Give the people a quick intro.
Yeah, this is Donnie G, baby, as some might call me. Others might call me the all-time vibes guy from this jersey here that Johnny welcomed to the league this past off season. So I'm the king of getting very, very close to winning this ship and not quite making it there. But yeah, that's me. I'm living out in Denver, Colorado, just about from these guys. So I'll pass it off to him.
Before Tanner, but quick question. So I almost asked you about why you were wearing a Knicks jersey earlier. I was like,
all-time vibes guy?
Yeah. Dude, give the people the explanation. What's all-time vibes guy?
Yeah, I'll explain that. So Johnny came up with this idea that he was, I don't even know what he was doing. He was at a party or something. Got Mikal Bridges to sign this jersey for an all-time vibes guy, which is somebody who just brings some vibes to the league. I have the courtesy of choosing the next person, so we're going to see who takes the next ship, but the reason why I got it was for creating the website for our league. So essentially,
we'll link it. We'll link it in the show notes. Yeah, we'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah.
But you already fucked it up. It wasn't Mikal Bridges. It was Miles McBride, I think.
I don't know either of them.
Dude, go to IT on that one. Dude,
one up in the means. It was
football players.
I think it might have been Kamal.
Yeah, I think they're both ranked higher than Brandon Ayuk on Sleeper.
Both might get more catches than.
Yes, that's crazy because Johnny, I think it was like 2 off seasons ago, dubbed me as like one of the vibe guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened. I didn't get a jersey, but here I am on the podcast now. So thanks for having me, James and Dolan. I guess if he gets a shout out, but my name's Tanner, one of the originating founding members of this league, which I think we could all say that we are, except for Alex Wilson.
9 of 10. One, I can't say it.
Sorry, catching stray.
But yeah, you know, I'm here really just to pay my dues and still be a part of the friend group. That's what I've kind of determined as like my role in this league. So I like to talk trash, send out some crazy trades, make some crazy trades, and really just go to the drafts and draft. I don't like to hold on to my players. I just like to draft them away. That's my intro. So if you need someone else that likes to draft and then will forget to set their lineup, maybe like week 13, might be your guy to join into another league. I like drafting. Don and I do like 6 drafts, but just by ourselves on Sleeper outside of this one, usually per year. So I'm here.
How many best ball leagues are you in? Both years.
0.
I didn't do any this year. I usually do a bunch.
I was gonna say, Tanner, that's your thing. Like you just draft and then don't have to think about it, and then probably don't get paid at the end. But like maybe one year you would.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was a thing until like Clem started doing it. So I think I need to pivot. This might be my last year in Crush Fantasy Football, and then I might just do best ball leagues from here on out.
All right, boys. I mean, I'm pumped to have you guys. So I talked to Jackson. He said this is the B team from Fredericksburg. I disagreed with him. He said him and Luke last week, we'll also link that show, are the Fredericksburg A team. He said you guys went to JV to get these 2 guys.
I do remember playing on varsity soccer and JV was Jackson, so I'll say
I also remember that as well. Yeah, I was on JV with Don. Yeah, Jackson was on JV. Well, he didn't really start, did he? I don't think he even played, right?
I think he was grabbing his water or something like that.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. He was team manager.
Dude, he was going to all the parties.
Luke was just part of the party. He would just dip out of parties and run home. That was his thing back in school.
Jackson and Luke, if I were to set the vibe for you all, what they were like in high school. Jackson, the drunkest at the party. Luke, he would have to run
equally
2 hours home, so he would be there for 30 minutes at the party and then have to run home. So, like, they didn't really bring much.
Wait, I don't get it. He had a curfew, or he just liked to run?
He just liked to run, and he would just run drunk home.
Well,
We're like,
he
Luke,
was smart.
where you
You gotta
go?
give him credit. He didn't drive home. He literally one time, I threw a party in my buddy's basement while he wasn't there. I was watching his house. Thank you, John. Luke came over, literally all the way from Colonial Forge. He ran from there to his house, all the way down to like 1, home at like 12 in the morning. He like lives free running drunk. He like loved it.
Absolutely nobody understands the distance or a map of what those places are.
Well,
but we'll put it on the screen. I'll get something for the screen. I need to start doing that for the pods. Okay, that's a good Fredericksburg high school 2014 high school party scene. All right, so we're going to get started. As you guys, I know you're loyal listeners. We start every show with Take Montezuma, sponsored by Soiree Season. If you want a wedding registry that will play all 17 games, not crash on you like Malik Neighbors, check out Soiree Season, promo code CrushFF. The link is coming, according to Tatum. So I think we're 2 weeks away from an actual link. All right, let's see. Don, since you started with the intros, fire us up.
I'm going to go with a football take. And this one's actually with a little bit of stats, so there is a little bit to this. My overall take is that I don't think there's going to be a wide receiver taking at the 101 for the next like 3 to 5 years. And the reason I'm saying that is I think the offensive lineman right now can't deal with the defensive lineman, and it's causing havoc from the shotgun. And you've seen that over the last 3 years. There's been less and less percentage of shotgun plays and more things under center. And I think we're moving in. I think the NFL is like a trending kind of league. So I think we're moving more into that running back phase again with bigger linemen, bigger bodies instead of the speed that we have right now on the outsides and stuff. Because the other piece of this is Jamar Chase was taking 101. Joe Burrow goes down. His stock is completely gone. So their value is kind of exactly as you can tell me. Their value is completely tanked by somebody else not even like that they have no control over. So I think that's just another piece of it. I think maybe this is just me coping for Jamar Chase, but
That's what it is.
it probably is.
Let's clarify. So you're saying redraft, right? This isn't Dynasty 101.
Yes.
This is redraft
Thinking
101.
Jeremiah Smith in 2027 as my first round pick.
He's not
Is that his
talking.
name, Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, that's right. You got it right. Honestly, that's prop. Somebody Venmo Tanner for that one. He's not talking about the rookie draft 101. I think he's talking about like
I'm
redraft.
talking redrafts specifically.
So here, I'll play devil's advocate. It ebbs and flows. Jamar Chase wasn't obvious this year. You like to think that over the past couple years, right? So Christian McCaffrey was always up there. You have Bijan Gibbs. One of them will be the 101 next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jamar Chase will get drafted at 8. And then people are like, oh, wait, Jamar Chase is awesome with Joe Burrow. And then 2 years from now, he'll be the 101 again.
I mean, I see this point, but it's like this class of like we just got, I think, is going to really flip over the running back.
Okay, wait. So who are they? So it's possible 101s for next year. It's Bijan. It's Gibbs.
Like definitely going to go 101 in my opinion at this point.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Like he's insane. He has the most like receiving yards on his team. Bijan,
Marion Hampton, he had some.
I mean,
some promise. I want him down
before
still.
his ankles fell away.
Just a
I don't know. I think the same, but like I think the value of running backs is changing. Like the Lions is a good example. They have a huge offensive line. I think the league is learning from the Eagles and moving towards that kind of direction.
I agree with you in the sense of an elite running back is the most valuable thing in fantasy football, and people like to draft them 101.
Yeah.
I just think that there's going to be some year in there where people are going to remember how good Chase is, or Jefferson.
Jefferson went 101, and he hasn't gone 101.
Puka Nakua, like
Puka.
dude.
That's a good one, Tanner. That's a good one.
Sick.
Like there'll be somebody arguing for him at 101 next year if Stafford's still healthy.
Yeah, exactly. As Stafford, if he's not there, then there's still an argument to be like, well, is he worthy of the 101? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be little it's nitpicks. Yeah, it's nitpicks.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, it's a hot take. Tanner, fire us.
So I want to bring something a little bit different to the table here. I was talking to James about this episode. I was like, screw fantasy football. Let's just talk about hot takes all episode long. He was like, no. So I'm going to rattle off as a compromise. I'm going to rattle off a bunch of hot takes, both football and real life hot takes. I want you guys to rank like, oh, that was a hot take, or that wasn't even a take at all.
All right, what's our scale? Yeah, what's our scale?
Of like 1 to 5, like
or
numbers?
Like, yeah. I mean, you make up the scale, or like Brandon Ayuk to Malik Neighbors, injury severity, or
okay,
1 to 10.
Neil to Luke on.
Okay, Neil to Luke. Yeah.
Neil to
got
Luke.
it.
Yeah.
On fantasy, on points scored. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I'm going to start with the non-football hot takes. James, I feel like you and I've actually talked about a few of these before, or at least I've said them out loud to the group. So Don, you're probably familiar with some of these as well. The first one is babies shouldn't be allowed on planes. That's it.
100%.
There should be a single time zone.
Wait, I thought we were gonna rate them.
Oh, do you want to do it after? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's do after each one.
Or else.
Cool. Yeah, you're right. Babies shouldn't be allowed on planes.
I mean, I get it. I mean, like, what I personally want is a Neil, but like, what's good for society is probably like a Jake or something. It's like eventually someone will need to transport a baby somewhere, and it's like what happens in that scenario. It's like
I've thought about a lot of these, and the way I think it should be structured, maybe this is a business idea, similar to adults-only resorts. We have plane routes that are babies only, or
I like that.
Adults only.
I like this a lot.
What's a baby?
Dude, anything that's crying. Anything that's crying, potentially kicking your seat, stealing your snacks, that's a baby.
So like at least 4
it could
years
be
old.
Jay. It could be Jay.
It could actually be Jay.
I like this. I like this idea. Just none of the fluff of snacks and comfy seats. Like you just put them in a box or an open bedding, and it's like there's one person to monitor all of them. It's like they're all crying anyway, so it's like no one cares.
Exactly.
Like you get really good AirPods for the attendant. Yeah, I like
100%.
this. This is a good idea.
Don't have to worry about like being a nuisance. Like I think it's a win-win for everyone. Airlines should definitely figure this out. The second here. There should only be one time zone. That time zone is Eastern Standard Time across the world. Everyone operates in Eastern Standard.
Luke, this is a terrible take. The sun doesn't work that way. Converting time zones is super easy these days. You need your time to match when the sun comes up. It's not a good life. It's not good for quality of life to be awake when it's dark out. And so no, bad take.
I mean, it doesn't affect us, so this is probably where my take is coming from. But I think everyone can adjust their lives to meet Eastern Standard Time.
Well, don't you want to watch football at 11 a.m. though?
Yeah, but like
Instead of 1
we don't have
p.m.?
to worry about like, oh, this game is on at 7 a.m., whatever the time zone is in England, right? Like we just have the Eastern Standard Time zone. So they're playing on Eastern Standard Time zone.
Dude, But no, they can't because that is dark as shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'd have a different.
They got lights in the stadium, dude. Like it just would make everyone's lives easier that live in the United States, or at least in this hemisphere.
Dude, it's easy to convert time zones these days.
All right, so we got a Luke hot take, Don. I think you're with me on this one, right?
This last one?
Yeah, that's a deal take.
This
right?
is a bad take. This is a terrible take. That's a Luke. That's like negative Luke.
Well, I got more here. So my next one, you both definitely know this. You don't need a shower if you're at the beach. You go in the salt water. You don't need a shower. You're good for the week.
Luke.
I like that. No, that's a Neil. I just pool or beach. It's my shower.
You guys are repulsive. A shower after the beach is one of the best feelings in the entire world. A shower cleans you off. It gets all the salt, the seaweed, the sand. You're going to be sandy and salty, and your hair, and it's like you don't get any conditioner in the ocean. You get conditioner in the shower.
Are you counting an outdoor shower as part of it at all? Or is that
yeah, that's a shower. Outdoor, that's a shower.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not the ocean.
Maybe, I don't know. What if it's like coming from the pool?
Exactly, yeah. You go beach, jump in pool, that's your wash, and then you carry on with your day.
Yeah, okay. I see that.
People use salt spray to gain like to gain like that artificial like flowy look. So you don't need conditioner. Like think about like the cavemen, man. They probably just did the same thing.
Is that how you got your hair to look so good?
Exactly. I'll put a link in the bio.
A billboard for not showering right here.
See these curls, dog? You get that naturally.
Dude, look at that.
You got Salisbury in there too? This one I definitely feel like is a Neil. If you don't like sushi, you're a child. Grow up. Like, if you're not eating sushi, what are you doing?
I have this as a Dolan level of hotness.
A little, yeah.
See, I have Dolan pretty down low in my rankings, though. So, like,
Okay. Yeah. So if we use a current Dolan.
I think I've been ranking this wrong. Are we doing like?
we know you have. We just went with it. Yeah, Neil's like, you agree. It's a great take. A Luke is like, it's a terrible take. Yeah. And so a Dolan, if you went by current standings, is really close to a Luke. But if you went by historical precedent, it's like a little, like, I kind of agree with it. So that's where I was going. I kind of agree with this take, but I get, like, people like textures, right? People are texture people. And sushi, for some, I mean, not for me, never for me. For some, it's like a texture thing or a raw fish thing.
But there's, like, variations of sushi. Like, you can have cooked sushi.
You can have
a little torch on top, like, texture changes.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I kind of like to. I'd say either a Jake or a
what if, like, what if it's like a 10-year-old?
Or,
do you apply the same standard for a 10-year-old?
Yeah, dude, put them on that babies only plane. Don't fly with them. Like, my last one here is if you're over the age of like 23, you shouldn't be Venmoing your friends for anything like under $50.
50, that's kind of a lot. I would say under like 25. What do you mean by 50? Like, what are we talking?
Like, for instance, if you and I were on the golf course and I picked up like your dog and like 2 beers, it's $35. I'm not gonna Venmo you for that. Like, to put it in perspective.
50 seems crazy.
All right. As Johnny would say, get your money up.
Dude, Johnny says people don't spend enough money. I'm with you. This is a Neil. Once you hit that age, yes. It has to be like a big group thing if you're throwing out Venmos. Any reasonable thing, if you go round to round, the math might not exactly add up, right? That's what you're paying for, life and friendship. It all goes to the game. I agree. You should not be Venmo. Like, splitting Ubers after college is insanity. You should be ashamed of it if you're doing it.
Yeah. Agreed, James. Like, that is, there's no sense in doing it.
Tanner, if you want to call someone specifically out right now, the floor is yours. You don't have to.
Actually, I have another list of that. The people who probably aren't watching this know who they are. I won't give them the stats. Yeah, you're right. So I guess the people who are watching this know who they are. I'd probably decline a Venmo or 2 of yours if it comes under a certain threshold.
Wait, so Don, you don't agree with this take? You're like a firm 32, 16 and 16?
Yeah, I would say I would, if I'm rating this on our scale here from where I'm looking at the rankings, give it a James. It's like I'm mostly agreeing, but like 50 in this economy is a little wild. A little crazy. Inflation, bro? No. Yeah, I would say James. Like, I 100% agree on the Uber stuff. Like, if you get me an Uber, I'll get you an Uber. Like, that's kind of how it works. Like, it all equals out in the end. Especially like with grabbing me a beer at the bar, going back and forth and stuff. I agree.
Dude, the worst type of person that like this category falls under too is Don in your example. If you get an Uber on the way to a bar, let's say, and then they get an Uber on the way back, marginally, like it's pretty much the same cost like point there, but they shoot you a Venmo. Oh my God, we're not friends. We're not friends after that. Like, dude,
they're like mine was $50. Yours was only 10. It's like, no, that's not. It all evens out. No, this is a Neil. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Well, we spent a lot of time here.
Dude, I think we should stop the pod. I think we didn't plan on doing a hot takes only. Would you have more? Dude, we can do hot takes only pod.
That would be sick.
Let's go. I mean, we're already halfway there. Let's go. We'll do teams another time.
Football.
We adjust on the fly here.
Shitty cities shouldn't be allowed to have a football team. Great example here, Philadelphia. Probably a shitty city all around. They have
Neil,
what, cheesesteaks
Neil.
and like bad
Dude,
food.
Liberty Bell, Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding establishments of this country. I'm pretty sure Second Continental Congress could have been near there.
I forgot
That's all I
Dolan
got.
was on this call. I thought he wasn't here. Just had a pretty good defense from Philadelphia.
What? No, what do you mean by shitty though? Like, what's the criteria? You don't want to visit there, or like the GDP, like they're bad fans?
We could go
'Cause-
into a list of like deciding criteria, but I think like if you're like, yeah, the baseline should be like, I don't really have any intention of visiting this city. Shouldn't have a football.
Can you make that decision?
I will be the deciding factor on all shitty cities.
I'm going completely the other way. I think cities you want to visit shouldn't necessarily be cities with football teams. Take Buffalo, for example. I have no desire to go to Buffalo. The Buffalo fans are the best fans in the entire NFL because all they have are the Bills. And so it's like, I want more shitty cities with football teams, like Lafayette. Is that even a real city? Like Harrisonburg.
Sure.
Madison, like, I just,
Fredericksburg,
like,
Virginia.
Yes, sir.
like, there's so many things to do in LA. They don't need two football teams. No one wants to go to football in LA.
You know, you bring up a good point. I might reverse this hot take.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's interesting. So, like, only shitty cities get NFL football teams.
Yeah, only one good city gets an NFL team.
Yeah, and you have to, like, if you win the Super Bowl, you get to keep the football.
It's like you get relegated. It's like
Yeah.
that whatever team wins the Super Bowl goes to like to the next big city.
Mm.
The LA or the I don't even what do we consider good cities? San Diego, Denver. Does Denver keep the Broncos?
Yeah, we're building a new stadium.
So we're a shitty city? Or are we not a shitty city? Oh, we're a good city.
We're a good city. Like, if I'm,
Okay.
I'm getting on board with this argument now, like, yeah, we get to keep a city. Or, yeah, we get to, I don't know.
He's back.
I got lost here.
All right, next one.
Next one. Yeah. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think it should happen in the NFL. Bring back excessive celebrations. Why do we start penalizing and, like, looking down on excessive celebrations? I think it's fun. I think it builds, like, you know, you got the Jefferson, or is it Justin Jefferson? The dance that came out of that. Like, I don't know if that's excessive, but I love to see more of that. I always think back to, like, the Key and Peele skits of, like, the three pumps. Love that. Now it's a flag. Like, come on now. In addition to that, I want to see fights. I want the NFL to be more like hockey. Start some brawls. Like, don't penalize. Let the boys play. I think that would add so much value to the watching of these games. And then, like, in Red Zone, it could be a second box of, like, oh, here's who's fighting now. I think that'd be a great addition. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't Don, I'll just let you go here. Like
Dude, that's what I just written down, dude.
what?
Really? Dude,
One of
it's
my
not even a hot
hot takes
take.
is what- we need more shit talk in sports because I was thinking about the Ryder Cup and just how fun. Like, they got so bent out of shape with all the shit talk, and I'm like, guys, you're playing a fucking sport. Like, come on. There's like, it's not that deep. Whatever they're saying, like, get over it. I agree. Like, my thing was always like, are they just ripping each other's helmets off and going?
Dude, that's I mean, it obviously could never happen because like hockey you're on skates, so you can't really hurt anyone that bad. NFL you could really like obviously hurt someone. So they'll never the taunting thing's different. I'm in. That would just lead to more fights. They all go together.
Exactly.
It's like taunting it leads to fights. Fights lead to lawsuits.
Yeah, more lawsuits, even better.
More lawsuits good for the big business of the law firms. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna rate that one.
Well, that's probably a good one to end
I'll
on.
go on it.
I love it. Thanks, Dom. Appreciate the support.
But that was it?
Oh, do you? I got a couple other ones, but I know we're like 30 minutes in.
Dude, we're 30 minutes in. It's a whole episode. Well, we've
you're right.
pivoted.
I got one more here. This is more personal. Drafting and trading in fantasy football is better than actually winning your week-to-week matchups. Like, the experience of drafting and completing a trade is better than catching a dub against Luke.
I'm a Luke. I'm a Luke
You're
here.
Luke on that?
Dude, I like trading. Don't get me wrong. I like drafting. They're fun, but they're a means to an end. The end is that glorious feeling you get when you stack your team Monday night and you have more points than the other person. You can't
Yeah.
replicate that feeling
100%.
on this entire planet. And once you put two together, then you look at your record after that. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I
agree.
mean,
So I played.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll tell them about our little bet that we had last week because it kind of leads into it. But I agree because I just beat Tanner last week, but I didn't actually beat him, unfortunately. We were playing in a second league in one of our sleeper leagues, and our bet was whoever wins, it's either 2-0 or 1-1. If it's 1-1 in the matchups, then we go points for. And so my team popped off in the Crush Cities League, and I put up 160 points, which I thought was going to be good enough. And Tanner put up about 100 points. Well, I was
Not good enough.
Yeah, not
I had
good,
some
not good.
injuries.
He did have some injuries, but going back to it, I was watching the league in the second half, or the second league in the second half for Amari DeMarcado, who I had playing against Tanner. So the score at that point, I was down by about 65 points. And Amari DeMarcado runs that ball all the way to the 1 inch yard line, drops it. I lose those points and the 6 points, and I lose the matchup between us two by 6 points. So literally, the matchup was decided by Amari DeMarcado dropping that fucking ball. I don't understand how people still do that. That's a hot
It was
take.
beautiful.
If you drop the ball at the 1, you are cut the next day. Like, I don't
Or you have
understand.
to fight. Or you have
Or
to
you
fight.
have to
you know?
fight the coach. You have to fight the coach.
Dude, they almost did. Cannon got fined
that's right.
$100,000. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Damn.
He got fined $100,000 for like putting his hands on him. Dude, they're talking about it everywhere today.
That is crazy.
Good. Bring that back.
All right, we're 30 in. That took a little longer than expected. So, Don, let's start with your squad. My assessment of where your head's at, but then I want you to go into kind of strategy, goals, and how that has changed in the last 5 weeks, right, since the start of the season. My perception, tell me if I'm wrong, is your team was a juggernaut set up to win. You have 4 amazing running backs, at least on paper. Kyron, Amarian, Bucky, and Chase Brown. 2 really good quarterbacks, at least if you looked at last year, and then the best receiver in the league, and then kind of enough pieces to fill it. So you probably were like, okay, I'm going to win this thing. Everything has gone wrong for you in the first 4 weeks. Burrow injury impacts Brown and Chase, Bucky Irving, etc. Right? Am I correct?
Yes, that has been my experience so far.
I'm not verifying the thought.
Yeah, that hurts. Thanks, James. I didn't really
My
think
assessment.
about it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luke's was worse.
Yeah, that is true. At least I have something to look forward to. There has been a ton of injuries for my team this year, and I thought, covered at most of my bases with Kyron and Corum having that. I was hoping that Sean Tucker would kind of take over the backfield if Bucky were to go out, but that didn't happen. So I had to trade. I'm trying to essentially fill pieces right now. So I traded. I lost Joe Burrow, so I had to trade for a quarterback in our Superflex league, and ended up trading for Sam Darnold, who I kind of do like as a future, like in the future. I kind of like where he's at and kind of how he's playing. But it's more of just of this year trying to keep my team through these injuries. It's kind of been...
Dude, I have the history. Wait, you gave a 26 first and Michael Carter for Sam Darnold. You gave a 26 second for Rodgers. And then you gave, this one was a steal, a 4th and a 3rd for Rashad White, right? So that's you plugging the holes. Yeah.
Yeah, so plugging the holes with my running backs, trying to, like, at this point I have... since Amari went down, I had Haskins already on the bench, so I have a feeling they're both going to be nothing of Vidal and Haskins while he's gone. But the same thing, I mean, the Niners are just kind of injured at this point, so it's kind of been up and down with Ricky Pearsall as well this year. But really, yeah, I'm trying to maximize this year because I feel like I'm in about a 2-year window with this team, and I don't know.
Dude, give quick overview of the whole team.
So,
Don't go deep into the bench, but like who are the studs?
Yeah. Let me scroll to my IR spot. So my starting quarterback is Joe Burrow, and I have that stacked with Jamar Chase. My other quarterback is Bo Nix. So as James just mentioned, I traded for Sam Darnold and Aaron Rodgers. My running backs also that he mentioned were Kyron, Bucky, Omari and Hampton, who's also on the IR, and Chase Brown. So those are my main running backs, but right now they're being filled with a lot of the backups. And then my starting receivers are Chase, Zay Flowers, Cortland Sutton, and then I like to plug and play Ricky Pearsall or Juwan Jennings, or yeah, that's probably about it. How'd you like that Theo Johnson play last week?
That was
Two
so
touchdowns. You like that? Yeah. So right now I'm hoping to just get to 500, because if I can get to 500, I can feel confident about getting to the postseason.
So just get in and hope things break right.
If I get in and I get healthy, I feel pretty confident, but it's these middle weeks. Like, I had such a rough start to the season. I started out 0-3 that I didn't have anything really to base. Well, we had the same record. So.
I don't know if that's something to be proud about.
What was the question?
Goals and strategy, but
yeah. So just essentially, like, yeah, I don't even know where I'm going with this one. We're gonna
here. Let me ask it a different way. Where do you rank yourself out of 10 right now, this second? And where, if let's say things go right and the guys minus Joe Burrow get healthy, where are you going into the playoffs? What rank? Like, how good is your team?
I think right now we're 6. I'm just sneaking in. I think I'm better than what my record is, but my record is my record because my team just keeps falling apart. So if it keeps happening, we'll have to readjust here soon. But I've kind of sold out all of my next year's picks, so I'm kind of riding. I think I'm going to ride this little wave out.
Tanner, do you think Don goes to the draft next year if he doesn't have pick?
Physically?
Yeah, physically.
I guess it depends who wins. If Neil goes again and we're off to Ibiza, no chance.
Don won't go.
I don't think he does.
Like Bella would come down with hepatitis or something. Yeah.
I would love nothing more than our vibes guy to show back up at the draft, wherever it is. I'll leave it at that. I think he has a responsibility to the league, no matter where we go, to show up, even though he doesn't have draft picks.
I'll be the drunkest one every draft.
Dolan would want us to do some sort of strategy talk, Don. Okay. So your team, right? There's a Bengals stack of sorts. Both Chases, Brown, Jamar, and Joe Burrow. And then you have Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton. Was that on... And honestly, I'm not someone who loves doing this not in a best ball format or like a DFS format. Mm-hmm. Is this intentional, or did you just kind of back into it? Because I think it worked out for you significantly last year, having all those Bengals. So, yes, it is intentional. So, really, my strategy of fantasy football is probably a lot different than most people's. It's probably going to clear a lot of things up. I believe in teams over players. I think teams can make a good player great. You can turn a great player into a star and so on and so forth. And I think teams with good head coaches and a good run organization lead to good players, right? But there are exceptions that prove the rule, right? So I think a Joe Burrow is somebody that proves the rule. They can go into an organization and turn it around. It doesn't matter who the head coach, who the organization is, they can turn it around. So I like to take my shots on teams that I think are on the up and up, right? So the Broncos were my team last year that I was trying to get in on Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix. This year it was more the Chargers, right? So that's why I kind of went for Trey Harris and Amari. And Hampton. Interesting. I didn't put those two together. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I try and take shots on teams that I think are going to be good because they lead to good fantasy players. And that's kind of my main philosophy around fantasy football.
But the Bengals aren't good.
Well, that's what I say. It's the exception that proves the rule, I think, is that there are specifically like a Josh Allen, a Patrick Mahomes, a Lamar Jackson, a Justin Jefferson, a Jamar Chase. They can go into organizations and change them, whereas most players are really good that come into the NFL, and it takes a lot of coaching, in my opinion, to get them to the next level.
Does that mean Cam Ward's available? Terrible organization.
That's the thing, is I was hoping he would be that generational type of thing, but it's just so poorly run of an organization that players get ruined sometimes. Like, so for example, like on your team, James, Garrett Wilson, I think he's
RIP
should be a superstar like every year that he's been in the league, but he's never been that. This is his first year that he's really like taken a step up, but organizations I think drag players behind more than they push them forward, or at least from
Dude, I agree with that. I have two. Olave is the same way. I think Olave is an incredible NFL receiver who's like wallowing fantasy points away on the Spencer Rattler Saints. All right, Don, good overview. Tanner, my assessment of you, your team. Can I get?
Let's hear it.
Do we have time for that?
Yeah.
There's no vision. There's no strategy. It's whatever you feel in the moment makes it happen. And then it's just like, if it works out, like, yes, we'll take that. I think you want to win games, but according to your hot take, I don't know if you want to win games. I think you might just want to draft and trade. There are pieces, and I think you like to put those pieces together. I don't know if you're confident in yourself to be able to hold them. Is that a fair assessment?
Oh my God. No. What? That is an awful assessment. I couldn't disagree more. This team has a great strategy. It's still coming together, but the strategy is there. I've been known in the past, for the viewers listening at home, I've had a lot of like top tier draft picks in the course of, crush cities. I don't know if I have anyone left on my team that I've drafted besides like Malik Neighbors. That was like a top 5 draft pick in our rookie draft. And I think that's
Caleb.
My downfall.
Caleb.
Yeah, I still got Caleb. Yeah, that's true. Shoot, I forgot about him. Like, I like to trade, and I get caught up in it sometimes, and I'm like, vision does change from one year to the next. But I think going into this year, and you guys can hopefully agree, like, I've dialed back a little bit of the trading.
Oh, yeah.
I have some decent foundational pieces. Malik Neighbors is obviously that cornerstone, which unfortunately he is no longer playable, which sucks. And I think I've had some great vision on players, both trading away when I drafted them high and got some good pieces in return. James takes a lot of my really good players, and then they join his team and they become hot garbage. So
fair.
I think there is some vision to be said there. So I would say give me some credit on that point. The moving forward plan here, I think, is a little interesting because for me, I'm not in a win now mode. I have accumulated some decent draft picks. I've got a couple for next year that I'm holding on to. And then 2027, I think, is really where, coming out of that draft, I hope to really start to make my mark on this league. I got some early ones, and one of them, I think, is Luke's, which is huge. And then building around some of my young studs who I've actually held on to. Quentin Johnston might be, top 10 this year. Obviously, Malik Neighbors. I think James Cook is a piece that a lot of people have slept on, but funny enough, now my line is ringing to acquire James Cook.
Wait, Ted, can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Please, yeah.
It seems from the outside, when you had Neighbors and things were going well, and you, like, week 2, I think you scored like 145 points.
Yeah, sick.
I feel like your vibes, like, were super high. And then after that injury, I feel like you've kind of like, okay, I'm going to play for the future. Is that true? That's like what, like, vibes wise. Yeah.
Like, going into this year, I was pretty pumped to look at my roster.
Yeah.
And especially after week 2. I'll get ahead of this too. Like, haven't won. I forgot that we do like weekly payouts in the years that we've been doing this. I've never won one. But at week 2, I was like, dude, like, I could.
You were close.
I was super close. And I was like, I could win some money in week to week wins here. But now, that's shifted. I don't really know where to go at this point in the year, except for maybe. Apparently, we can't try and lose. But
so what's the Malik Neighbors strategy?
I'm holding, man. I really like Jackson Dart. I really think he looks good. I think with the addition of, like, hopefully Cam Scatabo, like, opening up the backfield a little bit more, it gives him more options. I mean, the fact of the matter is he gets so many fucking... Can I cuss on this?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I edit it out, sometimes I don't. YouTube hasn't said anything yet, so yeah, I guess.
He gets so many looks there, and he is so sick. Like, just watching the dude catch some of these, like, insane passes makes me really excited about, like, the future for him, especially with the addition of Jackson Dart.
Is that a thing for you, Tanner, where, like, you like watching good, like, you want to see just sick players on your team? Because you had Jahmyr Gibbs for a while, and then you let him go, but, like, you have, like, these sick players, and then you let them go, but you love watching them. I don't know why.
I think it's like you have commitment issues.
Yeah,
Is that...
I mean,
That could be it. I don't really know. I think it goes back to like my hot take. I like to do the trades. I like drafting. Both of those don't add up to have a consistently good team. So in years past, that's kind of been how my team has shaken out. But moving forward, I realize some of the defects of trading and drafting and then trading those drafts picks that I drafted. So I'm sitting tight. Like moving forward this year, like we'll take wins as they come, but I think my goal and my eyes are on 2028, 2029 playoff runs. If
that's the goal, there's some you have two pretty good pieces, right? Breece Hall and James Cook. The book probably says they're not their best selves in 2028 and 2029. Are you thinking about potentially like, hey, if I'm going to wait for Malik Neighbors to get healthy, we'll have another year. I have all these draft picks in 27, right? Let me go get either something that's going to be more helpful then, or are you going to hold on to those guys to try to win games this year and potentially next year?
I think I'm fine not coming in last this year, next year, even if I were to trade away those pieces. Like, looking at Jake's team now, looking at Luke's team, maybe even Jackson's team next year, I think I'm going to be fine.
But is that something you think about? You're like, I want to capitalize on these guys while their value's the highest? Or you're just like, I will take the fantasy points?
No, I think it's a great question you raised, because I'm thinking about the stretch here and the trade deadline. I might be in some people's inboxes.
Ooh.
Say, James Cook and Breece Hall continue to be pretty solid in fantasy football. I might be in some inboxes come the back half of the season, making some plays to hopefully get some capital for maybe 2026, more so 2027, 2028, where I could then start to really turn around my team. So that's the way I'm thinking about it. I've realized that their value, of course, won't hold on for forever. But given the way James Cook is playing, I also, to Don's point, I kind of like it, dude. I kind of like it.
I like it.
Yeah, no one's been willing to pay that price that I want for them yet. So I think a couple more injuries maybe. And then, did you guys hear that?
Not over the fire alarm. All we can hear is
Yeah, right.
blaring, sprinklers going off.
Yeah, I think like Don, for instance, he's one more running back injury away from knocking on my door. And I'm going to capitalize, right? Like, I'm going to capitalize. I'm going to want some picks. I'm going to want some, like, good pieces I could put into the foundation. Maybe some young studs that are on IR. Cough, cough, Martin Hampton. Still really want him. That I can, like, start to build. Caleb Johnson. You could have gotten something out of me earlier, Don, but now.
How real, question for both of you, how real's the Quentin Johnson resurgence? And is he the best receiver on the Chargers?
Yeah, it's real.
You think so too, Don?
Yeah, I think it's real. He's playing the position. He's playing the outside guy, and he's playing all the snaps. So Justin Herbert has a huge arm. He's going to give it to him. I don't think he's the best receiver. I think Trey Harris is. No. Honestly, I think Keenan might be the best one on the team, personally, just for like, because they run a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, so it's hard to say which one's the best. It's just who's getting the ball that game.
Yeah, but you look at his, like, I mean, taking week 5 out of the picture, like, he's been getting the ball and he's been putting up numbers, like big plays, fair amount of catches. And you look at who else is like catching the ball on that team, it doesn't look as exciting. Like, what happened to Ladd McConkey?
It's sad what's happened. It's sad what's happened to Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for it, but I think it is real. I think he's not dropping. I think he fumbled last week, actually. But he's not dropping passes like we saw in the last year or two.
Yep.
And he's got a new head coach, right? So I think there's some development that went into some QJ on the offseason. He's got the talent.
You have 3 firsts in 2027. I think so.
Yeah,
Luke's,
maybe.
Yours. I can't remember.
Johnny's.
I feel like the other Johnny's. Yeah, it's late one. Do you think, or your outlook right now? Do you want to trade those for, let's call it, young good players, or do you think you're going to use those picks? What's your initial, if you had to guess right now?
I like drafting. I've said it once, and I'll say it again.
Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith, baby. There are a few players that I would give up those top tier picks for. I honestly don't think my pick next year is going to be like a late pick. The way the team has been playing, I think it's going to be probably top 5. So I'm willing to wheel and deal for young studs, but I'm very selective of like who I want. I got a vision for certain players, and most of that stems from like the hype on TikTok, but it hasn't led me astray too much yet. So I would trade him if the right player was on the table. If that answers your question, James. Fuck. All right. Well, I'll probably be drafting then.
Last question, 54. You're gonna beat Ashton this week, Tanner.
God, I hope so, dude. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe I want to capitalize on some more losses here. But I don't know what happened with Ashton. He's obviously been making some moves. I feel like it could. Previously, it used to be like wins you could count on, like a Luke, like right. But now he's like.
We used to have two. We used to have 2 free bingo slabs. We used to have Luke and Ashton. Probably done anyone.
Yeah, but seriously, it's a good question though. Like his team's looking pretty dangerous. God, do I love some Emeka Ibuka.
Oh my God.
I don't know how he got Trey McBride. Like when did that happen? I mean, Puka's
Jake traded him. Jake traded him to like 2 weeks ago for.
Oh really?
Justin Fields, a first-round pick, Ashton's 26th first, and maybe something else.
Yeah, I mean, like props to Ashton. If you're listening, Ashton, like.
Oh, he's listening.
The turnaround for what you walked into is pretty impressive. Like Justin Herbert, that actually panned out really well this year.
Dude, the numbers aren't that good.
Yeah, not anymore.
Really?
Yeah. The Herbert numbers, it was like the first 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been bad, but it's been worse.
That is true.
Drake May's awesome, and the numbers aren't great there yet. Actually, top 10 QB?
Yeah, George Pickens too. He's been popping off this year, right?
Popping off.
Yeah, so like his team's scary. I don't think I'll catch a win this week, but yeah, Anthony Richardson, he might come back. Who knows?
Are you gonna beat Johnny this week?
That's a good question. If my favorite team loses the Commanders, probably I will beat you. But if they ball out. It's actually a rematch of Chicago. They're playing a little rematch of that game last year, so it actually might be a good game. But I hate this. My team's going to be down like a 2 o'clock slate, so I think I'm
the worst. Dude, at least it's not the 1 o'clock slate. Luke says 50% of the time he knows he lost. Catching an L. Dude, I want more confidence from you two. You both came on here and said you're going to lose this week. God damn.
I have like my entire starting lineup is as a red O next thing. I don't know what to do.
Dude, you trade for Rashad White and Aaron Rodgers. That's what you do. All right, actual last question. Tanner. And
before we move on, do you think you're going to win against Luke?
I'm going to beat Luke. Luke is not. His team is better than it's been in most other weeks besides last week. There are some scary players there, and I don't take anything for granted. But I'm going to beat Luke this week. I have to beat Luke this week.
Yeah, you're so confident you're not even starting to kick it right now.
All right, boys. Thank you, dude. This has been not the planned episode, I don't think, but the closest we've gotten to a full take Montezuma yet, which we're going to do. We're going to do full hot take episode. So, Tanner, I think you've earned your way back on with, you might have hit double digits Montezuma's. I think most were Luke's. There's maybe 1 or 2 Neils in there, but we got it done. So, thank you, boys, for coming on. Great episode.
Thanks for having us, James.
Thanks for